Today we shall discuss on WHO definition of 5 definitions of health. What does 5 definitions of health says about? Health is a state of complete and physical, mental, social, emotional and spiritual well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This is what the WHO definition goes about. So now we all know about what is physical health. There is no disease in the body, that is no pains or aches in the body, or there is no fever or vomiting sensations or loose motions or constipation or indigestion in the body. That is what we consider as physical health, right? For example, right? Coming to the mental health, where a person is feeling much comfortable in his understanding and in his will symptoms, where he is able to make a decision of his own, is called mental health. Emotional, where he is able to enjoy the surroundings, maybe environment or a company, maybe relationship, can be considered as the social and mental and emotional well-being, right? Coming to the spiritual wellness, what does that mean? Who can explain this? Yes, a homeopath can explain this to the full extent. Today we'll explore it for you all and we will show you what exactly is spiritual health. Is spirituality means chanting mantras or praying to God? No. Spirituality means a person is able to sway in his highest purpose of existence, that is his spirit, his soul is able to do all its works in an easy and unbounded way to the framework of for what he has taken birth on this planet Earth, that is his life purpose. How anyone will get to know about his own or her own life purpose? My dear friends, whether we know it or we don't know it, all of us are on our thrive of getting into the life purpose, and we are already on our life purpose. We are all doing our life purpose. But if at all, if we know about it and we are doing it, we will enjoy it and do it. Like for example, we all are doing the journey. We are all going in a journey. We know it very clearly. If at all, if we know our destination, if at all, if we know where we are heading to, we will be much happier, right? We will be having more clarity, right? So, if you know about your life purpose, for what you are born, then your jobs or your works on this planet Earth will be much more easier than without knowingly you doing the same job. So, in homeopathy, we have the spiritual well-being where we help the soul of yours to get into its way without any hindrance, becoming the equilibrium. We help the soul to be in its equilibrium to serve the highest purpose of its existence by removing the obstacles for its happiness, that is the way of health. So how we can do this? We all know our soul is an energy form. We all know by now that we all of us have energy bodies, right? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Kosha, right? We all know about this. So, what are all these? Are they cognitive to our cognitive mind? Are we able to see them? Are we able to feel them? Yes, we are able to feel them. But are we able to see them? Yes. To some extent, you can manage to see, right? We can see the aura of another person, right? So, how can we be in the equilibrium with this soul of ours? how can we treat this soul? Because it is not to be seen, it is not to be felt so easily, and it cannot be touched or smelled, right? So in homeopathy, whatever the medicines we give, we say you not to touch it in hand. Why? Because the medicines which we give are not just the sweet pills or just the alcohol drops. They are the energy forms of the medicine or the remedy which we have chosen for you of its innate, which was subtle in that particular substance, that remedy, its innate nature, its latent energies have been brought to the surface, and we have made those remedies in the energy forms to administer you. And if at all, if you get into cure state, if at all if you get cured of the sufferings whatever you were suffering with, then we call them as medicines. So homeopathic medicines has no side effects. Why? Because in case if it helps, it helps, otherwise it just passes off without disturbing the equilibrium of that person, of whatever has already has happened. It will not further hamper the equilibrium. And for this reason we have got the blame saying that homeopathic medicines are placebos. My dear friends, you have to know it here that if at all, if the energy forms which we have chosen is perfect, or to some extent it is to some extent similar, it will definitely help. Otherwise it just passes off. Why? Because there cannot be a similar match for it. I can explain you this with this one example is, in case you are in an UK or an unknown region where you don't know the language, okay, there if at all a person comes to you with the similar language of yours and comes for an aid, comes as an aid for you, then how do you feel? You feel wow, glad, right? And if at all, if that person is giving you help, is rendering you help, and your problem is going to get solved, you feel much more in bliss. This is what we are going to do. The body is already in its diseased condition. Who is at disease? Not just the body, but the soul. Just because of the soul, the body is in its diseased condition. So to bring back the diseased body to the easy condition, the soul has to be treated. So the soul's language is the energy form. So for speaking the same language helps the soul to come back to its normalcy. So in homeopathy, the medicines are all in the energy forms. So these medicines help the body to get into its equilibrium once, if at all, if it is correct. Otherwise it just passes off. How do we select that perfect medicine? By knowing your will symptoms, by knowing your subjective symptoms. There are two things in judging a disease, that is signs and symptoms. S-I-G-N-S, signs, not S-I-N-C-E. These signs are the one which you can see through your eyes, which you can feel through your hands, other person, or you can smell or touch, or you can even auscultation is also to some extent are the signs. To make it simple, the lab reports which comes in black and white are the signs of that particular patient. The symptoms are the one which are subjective, and they are the one which is the most important tools for a homeopath to give or administer the remedies, for them to work upon that individual and become medicines for that particular person. So only in homeopathy we call individualization of the disease and also the patients. So we give customized medicine. It's not the same medicine for each and every person. person suffering with fever and also the another person suffering with fever will not get the same medicine in homeopathy. They will definitely be different depending on the subjective symptoms of that particular patient. So this makes homeopathy unique, and also spiritual things are involved here. Why? Because we are perceiving that which is not seen through or cannot be seen through the cognitive mind. So definitely we have both logic and illogic balanced in our treatment and also in the administration of the remedies which we give. So only our medicines do not have side effects. I hope this has made you more clear about homeopathy and its administration. See you all. Do spread the fragrance of homeopathy by subscribing to my videos and also spreading the fragrance by sharing my videos to n number of contacts.